Pookie.
We gonna take it from there.
Let me get that Pookie.
Let me get that Pookie.
That's what they call him now.
You got the Pookie?
I'm gonna do my own thing.
Fuck you.
Fuck y'all.
Fuck you.
Fuck you guys, I'm going home, bitch.
Oh wait, hold up. I can do you better.
Look got a lighter in his pocket, and look at me eating market.
If you catch it, you get to choose the topic. If you don't, I get to choose the topic. Are you ready? Ready?
You gotta throw it.
I'm gonna throw it.
Right.
So I gotta throw it.
You gotta throw it, nigga.
I'm gonna throw it
right here in front of you.
All right. So I gotta throw it.
Toss it. You gotta toss it up.
Up. All right. I'm gonna throw it up. So if he missed this, I get to choose the topic.
I'm waiting. Yo, trash. Yo gave me that bullshit.
No,
Yo, that shit was all the way over there.
I want to finish the topic that we was just doing.
That shit was all the way over there. That shit was all the way over there. What, bro? Yo, gotta get on your camera.
He ain't catch that.
Yeah, man. So we gonna talk about this topic today. I don't know what the topic gonna be. Let me pop it. I don't know. So
man, I want to let me get.
We was talking about the monkeypox situation, and I was saying that I don't believe that it's a real natural mutation. Sometimes I believe it's a lot of the shit is genetic.
And what I was saying, because I think I don't know. We probably edited that out, but either way, you know how I go. I felt as though that it naturally, the viruses are gonna survive. They're gonna survive. You get what I'm saying? And they're on the brink of like they are beings. They are trying to survive, but they like damn it like inanimate objects. And only thing they do is just duplicate. They like fucking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that, right? So what I'm saying is like how humans have populations. I believe they have populations.
Of course, virus.
So the same population, like they might, like you said, they might change. I'm not like fully into it. Like I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I do know basic things. I don't know if that is a basic fact that niggas can be looking at this video like this dumbass nigga.
Right.
They can do it. I'm looking at it right now in the book. But I'm recording with my motherfucking phone. I can't Google it right now. So fuck you. So yeah. I believe that like a population.
Because Google is your friend.
Fucking right. YouTube, Google, you. That's how I graduated from there.
I got the computer right here. I mean, we might, make something shake.
No, I don't. We can't try it.
I definitely got it right here.
I tell you like this though. I'm gonna tell you like this. You got the cold, the common cold. Everybody catch that. The flu ain't shit but the cold. You get what I'm saying? So and then you got diseases. Right? So STDs, herpes, and shit like that. You telling me all this shit is just mutating because and running wild? If you're not doing nothing to treat these things or to avoid this certain lifestyle, then of course I believe it could get worse. But I don't think it's mutating like, oh yeah, we change forms and sneak in the club.
No. So over time, anything is gonna adapt. I'm just gonna say it like that. Anything's gonna adapt. Like you take you make extreme changes to the conditions, like you take a saltwater fish and put it in fresh water. It's not the same. You get what I'm saying? It's not going to adapt. It's going to die out. But like gradually, yeah. Like over time, it could. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
Some are more sensitive, but there are some species of fish that could like kind of adapt to both, and then you take that. And then you breed that, and that's when you get all the gene splicing and all that kind. That's the premise of it.
So that's
you know
what I'm saying.
Like you take a species of one or of something, and then you want a specific trait that come out of it. Like you want.
And this is where I'm saying that doesn't happen naturally. You get what I mean? Because they created the liger or the tigers. You get what I'm saying? Or the tigon or whatever. So when they did that, they took two animals that would never see each other, ever, because of the type of environment they need to survive. They won't even travel those distances to even cross paths with each other. So how would you even have this happen? So what I mean, and that's exactly what I'm saying, they have to be taking a common cold and another disease, mixing it and giving it a name. It's just like the marijuana strains we be smoking. They do the same thing with that. So that don't happen naturally. Is what I'm saying. It's not gonna grow like pollination with trees. It's no way that a tree that pollinates get onto a tree that has nothing to do with it, and then change it to a whole new fruit because like it don't happen. Only if
What about
only
the donkey?
only
What about the donkey?
only if
What
it's
about the donkey?
only if it's in the same.
Like a horse and a mule. It would make a donkey, but it can't reproduce. You know, donkeys can't reproduce because it's like quote unquote unnatural. So there are end games to this genetic modification of how they do it, and what they was trying, abolish it a while ago, but it didn't. It fell through. So now they got the research going, but when it comes, the whole thing is when you do it, it can't make another one. You get what I'm saying? Like natural life, like man, woman creates him or whatever, genetic two humans out. Now even now you can take two guys can have a kid and genetically, you know what I'm saying, put it into a woman surrogate type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you can kind of.
I was trying to figure out where you was
But like you can kind of do it now, but like in the sense of man and woman makes this, or human and human makes this. Humans only reproduce with humans.
Right.
Dogs only reproduce with dogs.
The virus
You know
only
what I'm saying?
reproduces viruses.
Yeah, bacteria. Yeah. I mean, and when it comes to bacteria, they made up differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they can be impenetrated. Like you can look at it at our body as cells. Like we're a one giant cell made of difference. You know what I'm saying?
We are right. You're right.
My bad, but you could look at it like that. But in the sense of like a virus it's gonna grow, like even left unchecked. But with the medication, with the scientific advancements that we have nowadays, even then, it takes a while. It takes a while for the virus to evolve. But now the viruses are catching on. You get what I'm saying? They like, oh, you feel that's not a natural thing. From what we know about from in science, you hear about the fucking Black Plague. You don't hear about the Black Plague
right
version, infrared, infrared. You get what I'm saying? Like it's a different strain of it. You get what I'm saying?
Some of the
you
side
don't hear
effects
about it. You get what I'm saying? Like
with the viruses, right though, some of the side effects are so not side effects, but some of the symptoms are so common that it can be. It seems like this, but it's that. It seems like this, but it's that. This is what I'm saying. Is like, it's no way that the human body is responding the same way or going to respond differently if it's getting introduced to something new. If it goes to something new, it will respond differently. If it got the same disease, it shouldn't pretty much respond to it at all, if anything, because like I said, it been through the defense system already. You get what I'm saying? The homeostasis kicked in, and then it had the okay, cool. I got the flu. I never had the flu. Now I got it, and I'm fighting it off naturally. I never got a shot for it, and now I have immunity to the flu now. That's how the body identifies the virus, right? Because they say, all right, cool, this is that. So next time they get introduced to it, they say that's why they gave a vaccine in the first place, right? So if your body is introduced to it after this, it has a shield up and it knows how to act about it, right? So now something new comes, your body don't know how to respond to it. So now you need a new defense system. But now, like I'm saying, you're saying so quickly after year after year after year, it's a new flu shot.
Yeah, it's a new
strand.
Yeah, it's like
right.
different.
So what I'm saying is how
it's something new. I ain't gonna say it's just the flu.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's like it's the flu, it's the SARS.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm saying for
all of it is the same thing. All of it is the same thing. Respiratory, upper respiratory infections. That's basically what it is. Right. So if you can figure out how to beat that, then a lot of the shit that destroys the natural public or the public, you feel what I'm saying? As humans, we learn too. It's natural defenses to it. Like we can, all right, it's a something going around with this. You can go out there and just say, all right, I'm gonna get lemons. I'm gonna drink a bunch of lemons and da-da-da.
Just
Which a
up
lot
your
of people
immunity.
did. A lot of people did it, and it worked for them. They never got sick. They just
Right.
up. You feel me? Up their intake. You get what I'm saying? So with certain shit, you can fight it naturally, but of course we talking about big pharma. They don't. It's ways around it. It's certain shit that's not going to go for like, oh, you just going to take some vitamin C. Like they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. You get what I'm saying? Some shit is just random, and that shit is made. I feel as though a lot of that shit is made in the lab. When it comes to shit that's attacking shit that works around natural shit, the regular natural shit, then there's an outside entity disrupting it. And what they do is they shake these genes, like they shake it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And then it'll change form. You get what I'm saying? And then they reproduce
activate
it. Yeah, and all that, smash them together. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And make it hyper. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And the way they act around each other, you get them to keep smashing more together, and make it. And the whole time, it something will just pop out. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm not a fucking scientist. You get what I'm saying? I'm not in.
Hey, yo, you seen that movie Prometheus?
Yeah, I seen Prometheus, but like they smash the cells together. Yeah, like something like that. But it's not like protons, but in the same right,
aspect.
Yeah,
right.
It's the same general idea. You smashing these cells together. You taking these cells and you reproducing. You making them over and over. You doing it. You shaking them over and over, hundreds and hundreds of times.
Right.
Taking that cell, you get what I'm saying? It replicates. Take that, and then you make more of that, and that's the whole premise of spicing. Is like you take something that you want a specific trait of, this, and then with viruses in mind, say this attacks this specifically.
Right.
We're gonna take that part of it genetically, and they can go microscopic subatomic particles fucking with shit, and they can take this and move it here. You get what I'm saying? Add it to this. We're gonna take this.
Like Hitler.
Yeah. And it fits. It's gonna fit. It's gonna fit most times, and sometimes it don't. Sometimes it do. But that's what's the point of experimenting. That's why they in the labs in the first place. They fuck with shit. They're gonna take fucking smallpox and chicken pox and put it the fucking together and see what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
And let it sit and let it in an environment that both of them can survive in, and then you come back to it and you look and see what the fuck happened. Right. And then you take that and you do some shit with it. Like we don't even know what this is. It's fucking
just makes
X.
Yeah.
X
well, you're cooking at the stove. The stove.
Right.
They want to add this. They want to take that out. They want to
you get what I'm
try
saying?
That, flavor this, flavor that. But yeah, so
that's the whole premise of it. That's
right.
Just breaking it down. I don't know if like you quote it, but that's the whole premise of it. Like
it's a recipe tool.
It's the recipe.
They try to find the factors to the whole situation. They just experiment. So, what you think about how they even got these things? Because I always wondered, right? I went to school for nursing. I went to school for medical aid and medical assistant, and I went to the college, for the nursing. And through that's you wrote that. Look, where the sheets at? Then you bring them in.
I don't know. I don't think it did.
Yeah, but for the most part, though, when I was in the classes, and I was in the nursing classes and all that type of shit, and through my experience, I was like, I stopped doing it because I couldn't proceed with it. I saw some shit on the ride along, so that stopped me from furthering my education with that shit. But when I was doing that, I forgot the fuck we was talking about. He fucked me up with that blunt. That motherfucking dead ass blunt.
I mean, roll that bitch out of the fuck.
What the fuck were we talking about? What was he talking about, bro? You don't even remember.
We was talking about motherfucking. I know we was talking about monkeypox. I don't know what the fuck you started talking about.
Nigga was not talking about.
We was talking about replicating cells and shaking cells.
Yeah, no.
And I don't know, you started talking about, I don't need to change the subject. All right, we're going to change the subject.
I said, nah, I went to school for some
Right.
reason
You went to school.
for nursing
Right.
and medical
So you
assistant.
right. That was your background, and why you saying like with the whole.
Nah, I said it for a reason. I'm gonna have to see it. But
You gonna have to run it back.
I had to check this shit out.
Run it back. Go back. Rewind and figure out what the fuck I said.
But anyway, man, though, when it comes
Figure
to
out
that
what I said.
motherfucker shit, when it comes to all that's being said is though, man, this shit, man. At the end of the day, it's not nothing new under the sun. Besides the shit they created.
You saying how did they obtain it? That's what you were saying.
Oh, so
how
there
did
we
you
go.
get it?
All right, so
How did you?
yeah, no, I caught it. Appreciate you, bro. So now I'm back. Boom, we're gonna edit it in the start right here. So I went to school at out in the county or whatever, and I did my knowledge right there, and we was going through the whole system. I was trying to be an EMT. I had to did a ride along. I couldn't do it because that shit fucked me up a couple times seeing children and shit like that. I'm not really built for seeing that type energy. You know what I mean? But
Right.
far as the whole knowledge though, we in school, I'm like, yeah, EMT system was really created only a few years ago. You want to keep it real. Like, imagine, right? People busting their ass, fucking each other up, fucking themselves up like they do today. And then yesterday, like in those times, it wasn't like a quick way to get fucked up. They was probably in agony for for a minute, like before they get assistance. So they never had like, we gonna call them. They just happened to have neighbors who had certain skills, right? And or happened to have the experience because of that. They had to go through it. Life had to fuck them up a little bit for them to realize, fire burn. Don't do that. Stop. I've been there before. So that's the type of lessons, that we lack today. But like I was saying, they never had like a system in place. So can you imagine how they had to develop to even get to this place? How do you know where your dublum oblongata is without really? Who was the first person to really crack a head open and said, "I need to know where this belongs"?
You want to know who? Well, we know the answer to this, man. Come on, man. You know who the father of science is, man.
Let me stop.
Coming out of Egypt, man. How you think they made all these medical advancements? All this shit that they doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or even the medicine that they making, that
Yeah.
they fucking up, and the viruses and all that shit that they doing.
Mm-hmm.
It all is coming from the father of medicine.
And who that name?
What the fuck was his name?
Doc.
Huh? Not though. He out of Egypt. It was damn. Hold up. Let me look him up, yo.
The first.
Hold up. The father of medicine.
Not Emotep.
Emotep, I think it's no. Hold up.
Yeah, but
Oh,
the
gotcha.
first father of the medicine. Well, we know.
Hold up. Hold up, I got you right here. Emotep. Yo, you was right. Look, he was right the whole time. Look, I was looking it up right here. Emotep, but yeah. He was and that was I'm thinking Hippocrates. I'm thinking in my head Hippocrates. I said Hippocrates. What the hell?
That's Greek.
Goddamn.
That's
He
Greek.
existed 2,000 years before Hippocrates. Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
Yes. So this is where they get all the medicine, all the shit that they getting from everywhere out here in this world, and how they replicating genes and doing all that. It's coming from, or really with medicine. I ain't gonna say with all replicating genes, but really with the medicine and how we able to keep up. It's coming from straight damn near out of this man notebook, straight out of this man notebook.
But you know
Straight
what you
up,
said though, with
it's
the
the
replications
foundation.
of replicating, etc. The coping or the copying and the
Where are they getting that from?
that
You
was
asking
done-
where they getting
was-
that from?
No. I know where it came from. It's just well, you gotta get into it. It's the big head scientists. I don't know if you ever heard of the big head scientists. And it was really a place where it shows where pretty much it's a story, pretty much of a man, black man, who developed the white race. So he took the white race from himself. It's like how you said earlier, how you work on specific features in race. I mean, specific features with the virus and engineering, right? So when it comes down to it, you know, the black woman had a so-called Eve gene, which though they can create whatever type of child once the sperm hit that egg. So my thing is, that's funny. I also want to touch on that, because that could be Eve gene or that could be a cheating motherfucker.
So what you talking about is like what they would describe as like in the Bible. I'm gonna go like with it from an aspect of just probably knowing who our audience is or who not. But most of the time, if you look at it from the Bible, I'm gonna look at it from, and I ain't saying I'm a theologist or nothing like that. But when you look at it from the Bible, they talk about the speckled flock, and they talk about. That's why they talk about the Bible is not to be taken literal in every aspect of the stories.
Right.
The speckled flock, right? So it's like basically.
What's a speckled flock?
Sheep.
Okay.
So it was a shepherd.
A speckled flock. Okay.
There was a shepherd, like how you said it was a head scientist.
Okay.
There was a shepherd. He was of this herd of sheep, right? So how it goes is, right? He noticed there was one sheep, like most of them, let's say the whole flock was like black or brown, right? And all of a sudden, one day it was like every so often, not every day, but every so often, it'll be like a black one with a white spot. You get what I'm saying? Or there'll be an all white one born. You get what I'm saying? So in the shepherd in his head, he was like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the ones, like even though it's black, but it got that white spot, I'm gonna breed it with this one that's all white. And boom, they're gonna make something. And then from that, that's gonna generate another flock. So it's like now it's black, brown, and then the ones with like white spots or different. You get what I'm saying? He getting different combinations out of them because he's breeding these two. So
that's the same thing that this so-called big head scientist did.
So what he did is he separated the flock. So what he made it these two, and then they started reproducing this way. So what he did was just put them over there, and then from there it started to generate their own its own flock.
Self. It's its own self.
Flock.
So that's exactly what he did with the so-called Caucasian man. He made whereas though he had a child and the child came out light, and he came out with one complexion, and then he focused on that one complexion, and then he developed his own people. And then he did it again with another race, and the race got lighter and lighter and lighter, and so much so it became recessive. And then that's how you got the blue eyes, because in the white and pale skin is real recessive. White is a recessive gene. Blue is a recessive color because it's just a light color. Any speckle of color will change the color of whatever it is. It's like a regular base. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's how I believe certain things are developed. But that's why I don't see how I touch base with the viruses and stuff. But viruses I don't think viruses do such as, I think once it's a virus, that's the virus. Only time we can do something different if I grab it and I take that and I mix it. And then that's the only way that I can have something new and say, oh, it's not, I wouldn't call it
But you saying where they getting these ideas from to do it?
Oh no, the idea.
Where you think
my thing is the idea is
to see a fucking fruit, and yeah, we smart, yeah, we adapt, and then like somebody down the line, but somebody way back then looked at two bananas and like, these are sweet, and these aren't, these are bitter, but these are like bigger. What would happen if I take the seeds of these two and then plant them together? What would spawn of that? And then keep doing that over and over, the seeds of that. Because bananas used to have seeds.
Yeah, right? I've seen them. Yeah.
Right. You can see in it. You can still see the cut a banana, open it, crack it, and then look in there, and you'll see the little where
they
seeds were supposed to be. You can see it. So it's like, boom. They took all this was like, all right, these are sweet and these don't have a lot of seeds. These do have a lot of seeds. They sweet, but they gonna get to that whenever. But they took the best of those. They probably took the best of the worst.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Took all of the best. You get what I'm saying? Whatever they could use, and then what they wanted, the best of this tree. Like, it's not really sweet. It's not real big, but it's not a lot of seeds.
I think they probably did it with what they could do it with.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think it was probably the idea.
It probably started with two. You know, and it was like, they was like, what the fuck? Like, somebody.
It had to been. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't happen naturally. It should happen. Did you ever see the Reese's peanut butter commercial? And they be like, "You got my chocolate on your peanut butter. You got your peanut butter on my chocolate." It was an accident. Like, it had to be. There's no way nobody said, "Yeah, yo." There's no way nature did that. It had to been intentionally. In nature, there's no accidents. So there's no way like.
I mean, it's a lot of things that's not accidents.
Like apples, like an apple and an orange mix. That's not natural. I'm sure some way they could do that in the lab now. You get what I mean? I don't know how marketable it is, but certain things.
Oh, they can do it.
No, I'm sure they can
do
figure
it.
out.
They do it. They already do it. They got apples. You cut open an apple and it's an orange. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I ain't never seen it, but
they got different shit. I ain't gonna say they super tech like that, but like they making yellow pineapples. I mean, not pineapple, yellow watermelons. Yellow watermelon.
I have yellow watermelon.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Blue. They can make
the cotton candy grapes.
You can make what you want it to taste like. You can take certain genes from it, and they so slick with it now that they can literally just take the genes instead of planting the seeds. They just literally take it, boom, make the seed, like and plant it into a seed, and then make it, and already know what it's going to be. You get what I'm saying? They way further than what they was just take a seed here, take a seed there, and just plant them together, and then boom, and then do it over and over and over.
I gotta look up on some.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotta look up on some of that shit because I know how when I was doing my little growing for a little while, and I would grow and I would pollinate. First, I was getting where though my seed was getting my female plant was pollinating too early, and my seed got pollinated too early, and it would never blossom buds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was pollinated too early. I had them too close to each other, so I had to recognize that people were separate. But that's how with marijuana, you know, you can pollinate with marijuana and get different strains through that. But again, it's the same plant. It's not a different plant.
It's the same plant, but like botany in itself, like just a study of plants, that could be where niggas discover shit too. Because you take a dandelion seed and go.
Well, it's really not the seed, because in nature, now, only way I can see that happen,
you know what I'm saying?
If pollination pushed through the air to a tree over here.
Or like what if like, it happens naturally sometimes. Things happen, like an animal eat some shit, an animal eat a plant, and then boom. And then that is in that environment. Now that seed is basically invasive.
Right.
Because what if it's stronger than every other plant over there? You get what I'm saying? But it's still the same environment that it needs.
Right.
That it adapt to, and then it just grow and it just take over everything. Now you just see a whole bunch of it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like certain shit, like how you saying it, like recessive, some genes are recessive, some are stronger. Just like some trees, some seeds, you can't put certain shit together because it's going. You know what I'm saying?
It's not always going to clash, or it's not. Because if it's either cause harm or it won't.
Like vines, like it's some invasive species of vines that choke trees. And you will go around, you'll see a whole bunch of trees, and then you'll see a whole bunch of vines, leaves on it. No, they fucking vines is fucking choking that tree.
No, that's what they call it?
Yeah, they be choking, vines are, some vines aren't there to like help and defend and do all this type of shit. No, some vines are choking the fucking tree. They like grow too much.
And so is it killing the tree?
And it kills the tree. Yeah, it shortens the lifespan of the tree because it's like, it takes the sunlight that it needs, it overgrows, the leaves overgrow, and it's not getting as much sunlight, it's not getting as much water.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah, you get it. And then the animals are still eating at the tree. The vines don't. They might fuck with the vines, but the tree's still getting hit at. But and it's not getting the same amount of food. So it's getting hit like and it's getting choked out.
Yeah.
Like you get what? So it's like
these bitches out here some vines. Choking
but they look pretty though. But they look pretty though. They got flowers and shit. They blossom. But they really for real, they choking your tree out.
Yeah, see that's what we.
They choking the life out.
Top of the flood of blow.
No, that's a whole nother subject. We're not gonna do that. I love women.
Yeah, I hate these bitches though.
Here we go.
Oh man.
Don't even get
Yo,
started.
shit, yo. I don't even know how to feel, yo. It's like the whole world right now is on this dating shit and on what you should do and shouldn't do. And that shit is like on a whole nother level. And it's like it's been plus my man Kev, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, Mr. Kevin Samuels.
Rest in peace.
It's like right now, I think maybe because the age we in, like how the 90s, 95 babies, you know, living right now, or 85, I won't say 80s, 85 to 95, we all dating and shit like that. So we got so much shit going on in this dating world right now.
Right.
And all these instructions and rules and red flags you should look for. It's like so.
I mean,
much
I think
shit.
it's like personal type shit. You know what I'm saying?
It
It's like
is
preference.
it's definitely preference, but my thing is preferences is pushed to where it's though it's like one stimulation for.
Plus, information is shared way more like quick at a higher pace,
Faster rate, right?
way higher than what it was back then. And we talking about marriage, and
Right.
they talking about all the way back then. The only way they could communicate is like through letters or books and shit like that. And not to say you can't learn that way or communicate that way now, but it's much easier to go and just look and at a post or whatever, or in general opinion is made a lot of times it's swayed by shit like memes and shit like that. Like a meme don't have to be like funny, it could be actually
It's
something
informative,
that,
right?
yeah, actually be like boom.
At the same time, that shit
actually like like
I don't think that's good though.
I don't think it's
that's
always good because like
it's good that they have the information so accessible, but I don't think it's good for that short amount of time for you to hear it. Because the same way they deliver that positive light real quick, that's just a taste. And then that negative shit, that's just seems all you gotta do is feeling like a. My thing is I realize about these women out there now these days that they catch this motherfucking vibe where they get an attitude and they look on some shit on Facebook or whatever, TikTok, and they share it.
right.
And it'd be like, bitch, why you know, goddamn well. Like I'm saying, like, all right, cool, that's cool, that's. Oh my God, how childish is that? So it's like it's cool, but you take the response to it, and she go bonkers, like she go nuts. It's like not in unnecessary type deals. You know what I mean? So it's like that negative dose will be the reason why the next time she feel away or y'all beef, you get a whole shebang off of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
What you trying to set it different?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, it is what it is.
No, I said it right. Oh, you talking about on just don't like that? Oh, yeah, so it's like they'll post some shit on Instagram, right? Or they'll post some shit from TikTok, whatever the fuck they doing now these days. I just see reels and so many shorts and so fast. If a man ain't this, ain't that, he ain't do like that. And it be nice, positive shit, right? And I'm all for it. But the wrong females listening to it and they be taking that shit like they talking to them. Like, motherfucker, that message ain't for you. Like, they hear it, they think that shit is for them. I'm like, nah. Nah, that ain't, they ain't talking about you, sweetheart.
So what you mean? Like,
say, man, I ain't criminate myself. I'm good.
Okay. You ain't got to use yourself in the example.
I'm good. Like,
no, you ain't got to give an example. Just like, but,
no, I can give an example.
I can give an example.
No, I can give an example.
Yeah, show me.
Let's say, right, a motherfucker say a level of disrespect, right? Female say, oh, that was disrespectful. But you like, what the fuck? Because your feelings was hurt. It was disrespectful. No, it wasn't disrespectful. You just didn't like it. It's a difference between disrespect and not liking it, right?
It is.
Because it's like I might not.
But it's
I
a
might
very
not like.
thin line because if you say something to
All right,
somebody,
let's keep it plain, right? Let's say even though we two guys, right? Let's keep it plain simple. Let's say I might not like the fact that the microphone how you got the mic right now.
when you scoot your shit up, dude.
But no, I'm talking about yours. I'm saying I'm saying I don't like your mic. My mic good. I'm good.
No, keep it scoot your shit up.
I'm straight. I said I don't like how your mic is. That's my example. I'm telling you, I don't like how your mic is. Right? I don't care. I really don't give a fuck. I'm just saying though, for the example, I don't like how your mic is. Right? Now, all right. Now I say something to you about it. Right? Man. Slide it right here, yo. You get a better sound or whatever the fuck, right?
Right.
And then you like, yeah, no, like, yeah, you feel me? And then, but then you do it though, right?
Right.
And then every time we jump in here, I gotta keep telling you shit. Then, is that disrespectful or is it just I don't like it?
I mean,
and I ain't saying the sound. And listen, the sound. And I say the sound the same. Ain't no sound different.
I mean, and that depends on the individual and. That's taking it, that's getting it too. So the nigga be like, well, why every time I'm in here, nigga, I gotta move my shit here, nigga. I like my shit right here, nigga. This is where it's gonna be. Like, this is where I get the best sound. I do the research and shit.
But I'm
like
saying,
that.
but put it to the left though, because that's how I like it. Like that's how I'm doing. That's how it's gonna be. You feel me?
That's how it's gonna be done.
And then every time you come in here, I gotta keep telling this nigga to move the mic to the fucking right.
And then at that point, it becomes disrespectful. The nigga be like, nah, nigga. Now, if you don't stand up for yourself, don't say it.
No, but let's say right. No, the whole point is right. The whole point is, I just don't like it. The quality of the sound is fine. Ain't nothing wrong with the quality of your sound. Nothing. Let's just say I just wanted all the microphones to look like.
But you said it though. You told me. You could have just not said it.
But that's my opinion. Just because I don't like it, don't mean that it's disrespectful.
Like, I mean, it depends on the individual taking it. That's
now suppose I'm running track and my fucking time is fucking 13 on flight on a 40-yard. And niggas gave me boo. I ain't gonna fucking like it. Well, they ain't gonna say boo. I say the score is just fucking terrible. Because that's disrespectful, boo. All right, not say the score, it's just the score. Well, I say you take a fucking test. What you gonna get a D and feel disrespected? The fuck? You get what I'm saying? You just going to test and up to what the fuck? No, but it's just, it is what it is. It's just, you don't like the fucking answer, but that don't mean it's disrespectful. So what I'm saying is what women be doing, or they be doing to these days with them reels, and I don't know, quick cut negative joints, it'll be real fast.
But they not the answer. But they not the answer to their problems. Your answer to your problems
to them it is.
Social media.
To them it
but
is.
it feel like it is.
To them
especially even if you share it yourself and you get likes off of it. So it's like, but that's the whole exchange of it. Like, especially that's what you look for.
All right, peep this, right? You ever get into it with your girl, right? Like I said, and one of them reels pop up, and then you might hear it, and she
Amen.
like you right beside her and shit. She like I don't know why this little joint. And we just got into it. She gonna do this goofy ass shit. I ain't saying your lady in particular. I'm just saying in the past.
I mean, women do stuff like that.
Yeah, I know some weird shit.
People do shit like that. People do shit like that. Not just women, man. People do dumb shit like that.
People do weird shit. Yeah. But I'm saying when it's on them reels though, I think that shit make it worse because the next one won't be the same shit. Cause they go off of what? What they call it?
What?
When you posting it, it's a pattern. Once you start watching some shit, then the next one won't be the same shit, and the next one won't be the same shit.
Yeah, it's the algorithm.
The algorithm, right? So you got
an
algorithm with some
negative
shit.
What does that got to do with the ladies, with the women?
Because they be on this social media life, living it, right? And they looking at the algorithm when they get pissed off with a guy or whatever, and they go to the algorithms or the negativity reels where they keep popping up. Because a black woman should be quitted. If you ain't treating you clean like this, then you ain't shit. But if you ain't doing this, then you ain't shit.
That's like, I'm taking that message.
Like, same time though, it's just her. Like I said, she take it.
But that's not fully on her.
What I'm saying is,
it's like social media brings out the worst in us.
Right.
And this is it brings out the worst because it literally will take something that you would think is funny, right? And just say, for instance, somebody bust their ass, right? It's just, you just see, and it's funny. Like, you just see somebody, like, and then the next thing you know, you see something else, somebody else bust their ass. Like, and it was like, oh, he liked that. You get what I'm saying? They commented, they liked, they watched it 2-3 times. You get what I'm saying?
So that's what I'm saying.
So it's gonna
so
feed
the
you
ones that feed into it,
and not knowing that it could be innocent. You get what I'm saying? Something as innocent as a fall, and it goes into like, oh, they like this shit, and then all of a sudden somebody get hit by a fucking car.
But what I'm saying,
it'll expose you to that shit. Like, it'll send you down that fucking rabbit hole if you go down there. Because it's gonna keep feeding you.
But if you the person, but you, there's no way you the person.
You don't know you found it funny. It's just funny shit. You just looking niggas
getting hit by what, cars and shit.
Oh, niggas busting their ass.
Or like falling bloopers and shit like that.
And then it's
now
gonna
that's
look
different
like
though, because you looking at
like
comedy. That's not really negative, like I'm saying.
Now I ain't saying like bloopers and stuff. I'm saying, oh, niggas busting their ass, but like it get.
It's funny, like that's why it's on it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But that's a.
But I'm saying that
they get into fights and shit like that. Then you start looking at fight because it's almost a form of violence, almost.
What, busting your ass?
Getting fucked up, falling, and it's almost a form of violence. I'm not saying like.
Nigga,
it's funny, but it's like we said, nigga busting his ass like, dad, like you died,
like almost a snuff video. Like,
and then I'm just saying that for the algorithm. I'm not saying for me or like in a literal sense, but like for the algorithm, it's gonna lead you to, because it did for me. I thought shit was funny. I like niggas fighting and shit. And next thing I know, I'm watching fucking hood fights on World Star. Fucking niggas getting their ass whipped. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. You going to, or it was a point in time where fight videos was the shit. You get what I'm saying? You can find it anywhere. Right.
And shit like that.
And you get, and that's what it leads to. And at that point in time, when the fight videos was hot like that, it's so easy for a kid to just be on the internet and just be like, I found this.
Oh yeah, well remember back in the day we had Rotten.com, right?
And then you had Rotten. Like,
remember we used to watch bodies and shit get hit up, all that. But nowadays, right, we got World Star now, right? I just watched World Star video, nigga. Yeah, this shit split. Like, you can watch murders all day on this shit.
But that's what I'm saying. But
what I'm saying is though, that's not on a censored platform. Whereas though social media, that's not a social media. That's a website. But what I'm saying is on social media for us, the dating aspect is that they got reels that post negativity. People aren't smart. Like a lot of people aren't smart.
Let me say that.
And people are so fucking gullible.
People don't want to get smarter. People hear the truth and then negate it because they so surrounded in that bubble and that lifestyle, like what you saying. Right. And hearing the same thing over and over and over and over. So when somebody come and tell you like, there's nothing wrong with not meeting a man. But if you meet somebody and they helping you and y'all building or whatever, don't overlook that guy because
you gotta recover it yourself.
Right. Don't shut yourself off from being